Attention bowlers, we are going to get started. Please finish your warm-up frames. We'll be changing to scoring in just a moment. Welcome to Lakeside Lanes in Manchester, New Hampshire. I'm Steve Kelly, along with the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour, to bring you a Class B North match today. It's John Cadiero at Caitlin Zoltko. John Cadiero comes to us with a record of 10-18, and Caitlin Zoltko comes to us with a record of 2-26. We'll see who can earn some points today. I'm Steve Kelly on the call for the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour, and we're going to get started right away. It's John Cadiero down there on the lanes. If you've never seen Candlepin bowling, you're in for a treat. It's 3 balls per frame. We call them boxes in the Candlepin lingo. Strikes don't happen much. We have spares fairly frequently, though, and it's a game about the spares in the second ball. And John Cadiero starts out with a 6-pack on the left and the 10-pin on the right. And he'll work on that still. 1-4-7 for John Cadiero. For a 10 box, remember we were talking about the 3 balls per frame? This is the 3rd ball. And there is an 8 box for John Cadiero to start things off here at the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. This match was played on Sunday, October 5th, 2025 at about 1:59 p.m. local time, 1 minute early. Match format is 5 strings, 14 points on offer, 2 points per string, 4 for total pinfall. Tie split points in half. Speaking of splitting, there's a split and a 6 drop for John Cadiero. 4-6, 3-10. He's thinking about the wood down there. John Cadiero comes to us from Boutwell's Bowling Center in Concord, New Hampshire. And John Cadiero will take a 7 box. That's 15 after 2 for Mr. Cadiero. John Cadiero, who comes to us from Boutwell's Bowling Center, as mentioned, he has a season record of 10-18. He's bowled 2 matches. His home record, both matches were bowled at home, so his home record is 10-18. This is his first on-the-road match. Season average so far, 113.1. And that's all at Boutwell's Bowling Center. There's a split once again and a 6 drop for John Cadiero. 3-6-6, his first ball so far. Working box there, ugly split, ugly second ball. Not much you could have done about that, though. 5-7-10 split for a 10 box for John Cadiero with a 7 box guarantee. And he'll get an extra pin out of it, more than I thought he was going to get based on the difficulty of that shot. And that's a 24 after 3 opening stanza for John Cadiero. John Cadiero, 5 strikes, 25 spares, 20 tens this season so far, 49% perfect box percentage, 1131 seasonal pinfall. Another split for John Cadiero, a 6 drop again, 3rd in a row. And he'll take a few more out. Working box once again for John Cadiero. Eight box it is. 8-7-9-8 makes 32 after 4. John Cadiero, a member of Class B North Division 3, currently 3rd place in that division. 10th highest Class B average at 113.1. Headpin once again, going to be another ugly split. My goodness, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drop for John Cadiero. Great on the headpin, 4 for 5. Just not much you can really show for it due to these splits. Good spare ball there. Working for a 10 box here. He's got it for a 10. Time for our first score update of the day. That will be 42 after 5 for John Cadiero. 4 for 5 in the headpin with all 4 of those headpin shots as splits. All right, we're going to say hello to Caitlin Zoltko. Last covered Caitlin Zoltko this past spring for one of her ACST playoff matches. And here's her opening shot. 4 drop, 6 pack. And we do ID at the 25th lane. Oh, but hold on a second. There's a spare for Caitlin Zoltko. A nice, she'll draw first blood on the first box. In fact, why don't we take another look at that, shall we? Blows up the six-pack. Drinking responsibly. Here's Caitlin Zoltko on the fill follow-up. 6 drop, 6 fill. 16 after 1. Caitlin Zoltko, what a nice spare. That's another one in the books. She's perfect so far today. Almost every way. Watch this. Huge spare by Caitlin Zoltko on that 6 fill. Was unlikely to be a spare, but she turned it into one. For the follow-up. She's on the pocket. Split 7. Fill 7. 33 after 2. 4-6-2. And no such luck there. She'll poke the 2, leaving the goalpost, the 4 and the 6. She'll take an 8 for 41 after 3. Caitlin Zoltko has bowled 2 matches this season so far. A season record a little rough, 2-26, all on the road away. Her first home match is this one. Season average 103.2. She's on the pocket there, punches 6 out, left side check mark. 2-4-5-7 for Caitlin Zoltko now. Oh, almost takes it. Takes 2. Takes 3, actually. An extra pin falls. Always fun when you can get away with 1 extra pin falling. Even better if it causes a mark, like we saw with Chaz Gallant yesterday in particular, with his strikes that were just falling very slowly. 9 or 10 for Zoltko. She'll take that 10 for 51 in 4. Excuse me, 50 and 4. Score correction. Where did I? It appears she had a 5 fill at the beginning. I'm following the official scores that the bowlers maintain separately from me. The on-stream scoreboard is unofficial. So if it was a 5 or a 6 fill in the first box, the official number is 5 according to down there. Caitlin Zoltko almost gets the spare, leaves the 10. For the 10 box, and she'll take a 9. It's time for a score update. That's 59 after 5 for Caitlin Zoltko, 42 after 5 for John Cadiero. Those scores are confirmed here on the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. Half a game in this 5-game series. It's great to have you along with us here at Lakeside Lanes today in Manchester, New Hampshire. Here's John Cadiero. First time on lane 4. Opening ball is a 7 drop. Left side triangle on the 2. The front of the triangle is the 2 pin. And here he goes for the spare attempt. Poking the 4, leaving the 2 and the 5. This will be for a 10 box for Mr. Cadiero. Take the opposite side out. It's a 9 box for 51 after 6. Glad you're here. This is the second match we're putting out today, at least from my production unit. First this morning we were at Academy Lanes in Haverhill, Massachusetts, streaming Greg Vellante and Andy Klempa. That was a great match. Real edge of your seat kind of match until the 5th game where Greg Vellante pulled away. So do check that out. On the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour page on Facebook at the moment, I will get that match up on YouTube eventually. John Cadiero misses the spare. Gave it a good shot, but he left the 10. For the 10 box, he'll take a 9. 60 and 7 for John Cadiero. John Cadero's been perfect on the head pin aside from the first ball, or first box, that is. but almost all those headpin shots have been splits, and it's showing right now. The unluckiness factor for John Cadiero. There's a big bomb of a first ball, no split there. Now he's finally free of the splits, and he's ready for a single pin spare opportunity on the 7-pin. Oops. Sorry about that. He missed it anyway. Wrong lane. And here's for the 10 box. And he's got it. 10 box, 70 in 8. Missed the second, get the third situation for John Cadiero on that 10 box. John Cadiero on lane 4. A little bit off to the right. Looks like a 3-drop. The right side Candlepin corner. The 6-9-10 we're taking out. Now, and he's on the pocket. Wow, what an ugly shot. Right where the ball needed to be. But just kind of got nothing for it on the second ball. Like I said, Candlepin's all about the second ball rather than the first. And that will be a 7 box for John Cadiero. That's 77 after 9. I know how it feels to be on the road sometimes, and you can throw like a really great ball and just, you know, the pins are just not mixing the way you're used to at your home house. So definitely feel that with John Cadiero right now. That's a feeling that has been felt by myself multiple times. And no headpin shot, but will be a strike. Let's look for that 7-pin. Let's watch that 7-pin, and not quite for the 7-pin. Would have been a great strike, not off the headpin by John Cadiero. He's shooting for the spare, and he'll play the wood and just barely skate it out. He's got his spare right there for John Cadiero. Let's watch this shot again. While we're waiting for the pin setter, here we go. Got it queued up for you. Watch that, all over it for the spare. Waiting for the pin setter. In Candlepin, we tend to wait a little bit for our pin setters, especially if it's been so long since, you know, I don't know what I'm saying. But anyways, there's an ugly 2-fill for John Cadiero, and I believe that will be an 89, and that score is confirmed. Here's your score update for John Cadiero, 89 in the first. That's his opening wall of defense against Caitlin Zoltko, who has a 59.5 as of right now. And John Cadiero, if you look at the headpin stats and the split stats, that is definitely frustrating because he was throwing a way better ball than what was demonstrated there. That's just that's kind of the draw of Candlepin. Sometimes you can throw a great first ball and not get much for it. It's all about the second ball for the spare conversions. And Caitlin Zoltko on the headpin, and she'll start out with a strike. Great job by Caitlin Zoltko coming out of the gate, coming off the bench with a strike. Let's watch this. On the 1-2 pocket, blows it up. We're still waiting on the pin setter because the pin setter can't even keep up. 69 in a bonus after 6 for Caitlin Zoltko here. 69. Nice. All right, pin setter is ready to go. Caitlin Zoltko working on the follow-up. She's on the 1-3 for the double, multiple pins moving off their spots. Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? That's unbelievable. That is not a split. It looks like a split, but it's actually not. That's a 6-drop. Wow. Way better ball than what was thrown just now. But she'll get a spare on strike. Caitlin Zoltko spare on strike. Watch this shot. Really should have been a double strike if I could award one. She was all over it for the spare. Here's the follow-up. And the punch. 5-fill. 5-fill punch. I was talking with Caitlin before the match a couple days prior. She was saying she wasn't sure how she was going to do today, but so far she's doing pretty great. 4 marks in the first game here. And she'll take a few more out, leaving the 3-6-10 for a nice 10-box opportunity. Caitlin Zoltko's got it for a 10. That's 104 in 8 for Ms. Zoltko. Here comes Caitlin. To the left of the head pin, dropping 7. 1, 3, 7 for Caitlin Zoltko. You see down there. Hit the 1-3 pocket. You can kick over to the 7. Or hit the outside of the head pin. And she chose for the outside shot. And will she get the 7? Oh, it was close. It was really, really close. That was a perfect Class A style ball for Caitlin Zoltko. Hitting the outside of the head pin is riskier, but it has a higher chance of taking everything. But she'll take a 10 out of it, and that's good enough because she's at 114 and 9. Currently plus 25 over John Cadiero, plus one more box to go. As we go for the 10th frame here on the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour at the end of this first game of 5. There's Caitlin Zoltko on the 1-2 pocket. She drops 7. That's the 3-5-6. That's a triangle. Weren't expecting a geometry lesson today, but here we are. 3-5-6 for Caitlin Zoltko for the spare. And, oh, wow, the 6-pin holds on. Caitlin Zoltko remarking, that was funny. I do agree. And there's a 9 for Ms. Zoltko for a 123. What a great, great opening stanza, statement, what salvo, whatever it is. By Caitlin Zoltko, a 4-mark 123. John Cadiero with a really frustrating but valiant 89. He's still throwing a great ball, so I am not surprised here. So we're going to grab the stats here, and then we're going to move on to the next game here on the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. As our bowlers take a drink, take a breather. And maybe we'll show you some stats. So here's John Cadiero. Again, 2 matches played today. Season record of 10 and 18. Season average 113.1. Hasn't bowled anything away until today yet, so he has a TBD on the away average. The home average is actually 113.1. That's a bit of a typo, oopsie by me. But anyways, here's John Cadiero. And he'll start out with a strike. He's got it. That was what he was waiting for the entire first game, literally. Look at this. All over it for the strike. 6-pin fell last. John Cadiero's in business. On the head pin again. Another split. 7 drop. Waiting for the wood to settle, and the wood that is out of range is now safely in the channel. Looking for the spare on strike. And he's got that too. That's a spare on strike for Mr. John Cadiero. Watch this. Beautiful shot by Mr. Cadiero. That's 30 after 2 and counting. For the follow-up on the spare on strike. Oh, and he'll take 3 out. 4 triangle taken out in the back left. 33 after 2. Take a few more out there and leave the center triangle in the 10. 5 down, 5 up. And there is an 8-box for 41 after 3 for John Cadiero. In case you missed it, John Cadiero threw an 89 in the first. Caitlin Zoltko threw an 123 in the first. And Cadiero fires. He's on the 1-2 and takes 8 down. No split, thankfully. 6-9. 6-9 down there with a piece of wood. Let's see what John Cadiero can do. Oh, and the wood deflects. It was a great positioning of the ball, but he had to go a little bit more outside of the 6. But he's right on it for a 10, and he's still doing great this half. 51 in 4. Caitlin Zoltko taking an early lead, but John Cadiero so far is doing great right here. On the head pin, splits 8, 2-7. Barely a split, but still a split. That can go. John Cadiero is raring to go. And off he goes. And wow, you saw the dance that 2-pin took around the 7. 7-pin was safe somehow. Not quite sure how, but it was. And I don't know if that's going to be a 10 or a 9. We'll see what's keyed in. It looks like it's going to be keyed in as a 9 by Caitlin, which is what I believe was a fouled channel ball. 60 after 5 for John Cadiero. How's that for a much better half compared to his first half and second half of the first game? Currently rocking a 1.5 game total of 149. And Caitlin Zoltko currently doing a bit of lane maintenance, but here is her, well, part of her name. Here's her name. And Caitlin Zoltko, she has a season record of 2-26 so far this season. And she's played 2 matches, and she is looking for some big point gains today. This is her first match at home. Season average 103.2 so far. Just disregard that away average. That's a miscalculation on my part. High single 120, high series 544, 4 strikes, 17 spares, 29 tens. She currently is number 5 in the ACST North League for total tens at 29 and the 35th highest Class B average at 103.2. Here she is. And there she goes, punching 4, spread eagle. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 10 for Caitlin Zoltko. On the eagle, ball sails into the center. Double strike in a different universe. Caitlin Zoltko, the ball return wasn't dispensing 2 of her bowling balls, so she was just doing some resetting to make sure all that would kind of get the balls to come back. And that will be an 8 box for Caitlin Zoltko in the first. Appreciate you watching this match, folks. I'm Steve Kelly in the broadcast booth for 3-ball spare this afternoon at Lakeside Lanes. There's a 5 drop for Caitlin Zoltko. 1, 2, 5, 8, 9. As you can see down there, 3 in the back, 2 in the front. Bouquet of pins. And she will spare that up with a beautiful shot. Just full enough to take a spare off of a difficult leave. Watch this. She throws. Beautiful. Beauty of a shot. And the follow-up wasn't on the head pin, but dropped 9. Single pin spare on the 7 for Caitlin Zoltko, 27 after 2. And there's a spare for Caitlin Zoltko. 37 in a bonus. Let's watch that single pin spare shot again. Right on it. She rode that rail all the way down. So that's 37 in a bonus for Caitlin Zoltko. 60 after 5 for John Cadiero. Caitlin Zoltko is currently very well on her way to getting a 60 hash. She'll take a 2 on the fill, though. 39 after 3. But on the outside of the head pin on the half Worcester, she almost takes them all out, leaves the 6 and the 10. And Caitlin Zoltko for the follow-up, and she'll take a 10 box. That's 49 after 4 for Ms. Zoltko. We're at Lakeside Lanes in Manchester, New Hampshire this afternoon off the Massabesic traffic circle on exit 1 on 101 in Manchester, New Hampshire, right on the Hooksett line. There's Caitlin dropping 8 on the 1-2 pocket, splitting 8. 7-10 split with wood. See that wood on the left of the 7? That's going to be the operative shot. And Caitlin will she wanted to kick the wood on the left cap, but just went a little bit to the left. Too much to the left. So this will be for 10 box. Just pick a stick at this point. She shall. There'll be a 9. Always try the trick shot on the second shot, and the third one is the cleanup. That will be a 58.5 for Caitlin Zoltko, nearly 60, nearly matching John Cadiero. But Caitlin Zoltko just fell a little bit short just due to that 2 fill on the spare. But this is a great competitive match. It's a difference of 32 in the total for Caitlin Zoltko, but John Cadiero has the game currently by 2. And here is Mr. John Cadiero all the while. Not on the head pin, 6 drop, 1-3, 9-10. Orange pin, 3 pin. Oh, just narrowly missing the head pin. That was going to be absolutely a spare if John Cadiero had connected with that. Absolutely, no doubt in my mind. For the 10 box, he lobs. Well, doesn't lob. You know what I mean. Looking for synonyms. Throws the ball. Legal ball. 9 box. 69-6 for John Cadiero. 4 boxes to go. John Cadiero looking for some redemption after an 89 first game. Just a little bit off to the right. He'll split 7, 1, 2, 10. Well, not a split. The head pin is up. A split, we only consider a split if the head pin is down. And he'll spare that up. That's a great job by John Cadiero. 79 and a bonus in 7. Let's watch this shot again. Wonderful shot by John Cadiero. On the pocket, 5 split, 7-8, 3-6, 10. Cadiero looking to make something out of this. He'll take 3 on the right and leave 2 on the left, 7 and 8. Cadiero with the 9 box. That'll be 93 after 8. John Cadiero on the pocket. Pins are still mixing. It's going to be an 8 and a 9 leave. Pins are deadwood still settling. That looks like a layup to me. Oh, and the wood just was a little bit too angled, and the ball just got deflected away from the 10. Took the 9. And he's got it for a 10. John Cadiero rests at 103 and 9 with 1 more. John Cadiero just missing the head pin by a plank or 2. He puts down 7. The 1, the 3, and the 6 are down there. John Cadiero averaging 6.5 on the first ball so far. That's borderline Class A, which is great. And he'll almost spare it. Oh, he'll just narrowly touch the 6, but it won't be enough to knock it down. Afraid not, John. And he'll take a 10, though. Not bad. 113 ain't nothing to shake a stick at. That's a great exit by John Cadiero in the second, redeeming the first game quite a bit. 2-game total of 202 for John Cadiero. 3 mark, 113. Now his ball is working for him much better compared to the first game. 1 strike, 3 spares for John Cadiero. 5 tens, 45% perfect box percentage, but a first ball average of 6.5. 13 head pin shots, 9 splits, averaging 101 so far with 9 1 boxes. At this uneven point in the match, I will add. Here's Caitlin Zoltko now. She's on the 1-3, split 6. 2-5, 7-8 for Caitlin Zoltko. Just Just a little bit off the object pin, leaves the 2 and the 7. This will be for a 10 box with an 8 box guarantee. She'll make it a 9. That's 67 and 6 for Caitlin Zoltko. And that is going to be a pitch off to the right. A 2 drop, taking the 6 and the 10 out. Not much else going on. But she's on the pocket there. One of those situations where you kind of wish the second ball was the first ball. But hey, is what it is. 7 and the 9 for Caitlin Zoltko. For a 10 box, got to pick a stick or play the wood in some odd way. Either or, that's 76 and 7 for Caitlin Zoltko, who could use another mark or two to get up into the 113 range against John Cadiero. John Cadiero put up a much more formidable wall of defense this time as the away bowler. Caitlin Zoltko on the offense. To the right. Slides the 5. It's a 3 drop. 6 pack in the 10. 6 pack left. You saw that 5 pin take a slide. But it didn't fall. Oh, and she'll just miss. She'll drift off to the right. Want to go maybe perhaps on the outside of the head pin or on the 1-2 pocket. Whatever happened, it didn't seem to go as planned. That was probably the ball. It's going to be a 9 box for Caitlin Zoltko. That's 85 and 8. Caitlin Zoltko has 1032 pins this season so far, 50% perfect box percentage, 4 strikes, 17 tens, 29 tens. 4 strikes, 17 spares, 29 tens. She'll drop 6, 4 horsemen right side, 1, 3, 6, 10. Currently 4th place in her division, but it's still early in the season. She has the 5th highest ACST North total tens at 29. Caitlin Zoltko for the spare on the 4 horsemen. Just a little off the object pin, leaves the object pin. Caitlin Zoltko recently faced Alex Dellis in round 2 at Boutwell's Bowling Center, taking 2 points with a 544 series, 102, 112, 99, 112, and 119. 2 strikes, 10 spares, and 16 tens, 28 head pin shots and 13 splits. There goes a 9 box for Caitlin Zoltko. That's 94 and 9. She's on the 1-3 pocket again, just these awkward kind of hits that just aren't doing much for her. She'll split 6. Triangle and 10. 2 triangle and 10. She'll lop 1 off of the triangle, leaving the 2, the 5, and the 10 now. And it will be a 7 box. Caitlin Zoltko will take a 101 in the second game, so John Cadiero will walk out of here with at least 2 points, 113. Caitlin Zoltko, who took the first game by a lot, then went down by 12 in the second game. 101 to John Cadiero's 113, so both bowlers have 2 points apiece evenly. Caitlin Zoltko holds on to the overall grand total pinfall toss-up of 4 points at the end of the match by 22 at the moment. John Cadiero again took the second game by 12. Getting ready for the next game here. Appreciate you watching. Starting game 3 here on the ACST as the bowlers also take a moment to grab water and all that. Folks, I am selling raffle tickets for our Worlds team in Moncton, New Brunswick in the International Candlepin Conference this November in the second week. 1 ticket for 5, 3 tickets for 10, 5 tickets for 20. Venmo me at Skelly Skelly if you're interested. Lots of prizes available for the raffle drawings. Include some info in your message to me privately, please, if you wouldn't mind, just so I could physically write it on the card. So you can get paid if you get drawn. Support our team if you like us. We are the Massholes. We are not the Mets. That's a 3 drop for John Cadiero. Solid shot on the second ball, right in the middle, leaving the 6 and the 10. Better than a liquid shot, I guess. And I suppose that's a 9. Waiting for the official call. 9 it is. Was waiting on the official bowler's call on that. Again, the stream score is unofficial. I'm just following them. I claim no responsibility for any errors or oddities. There is a 4-drop and a 6-pack on the right side for John Cadiero. The follow-up on the 6-pack. He's on the right part of it. The 1-3 pocket left the 10. Great idea. Wouldn't have done it any differently. For the 10 box. It's going to be a 9 for 18 after 2 for John Cadiero. It's a 4-drop. John Cadiero's first ball average has been a little bit lower this game, 3.44 so far. Oh, but a nice beauty of a follow-up shot. Again, Candlepin's about the second ball, much less about the first ball. That ball was exactly where it needed to be. Left the 6, though. This is for the 10 box. He'll take a 9, his third 9 in a row. Still not a disaster. That's 27 after 3 for John Cadiero, who threw an 89 and a 113 in the first 2 games. This is game number 3 of 5 here on the ACST, a traveling league with 18 weeks of bowling, along with playoffs, NFL-style playoffs with a wild card and divisionals, that whole thing. And there's a 3-drop. Ooh, a 3-drop. That's a 6-pack right in the 7 for John Cadiero. Just having a heck of a time down there. And he'll take a few more out off the right side. It's a working box, 1-5-3-7. This will be for the 10 box for John Cadiero, and he'll make it a really grand 10 box. So much right. Actually, I believe that deserves a replay. Watch this shot. Here, let's back it up to here. 1-5-3-7. Great shot. I really liked that. Look at the way that pin flew. And it's going to be a 6-drop follow-up for John Cadiero for the 5th frame. No marks so far. Let's see if we can get one here. Just a little bit off the object pin, a little bit too much to the left. Went on the 4-7 pocket instead of the the 2-4 pocket instead of the 1-2. This will be for a 10 box, 8 box guarantee. A little bit like the first game here for John Cadiero. That's a 47.5 with that 10 box. Let's have a look at this, shall we? Another score update. That's a 2.5 game total of 249 for John Cadiero with 1 strike and 3 spares, 7 tens, 44% perfect box percentage, 13 head pin shots, 9 splits, and he has won about 12 boxes so far. All the others are ties in this uneven point in the match. Currently averaging 5.0 on the mark fills, totaling 20 in marks, fills off of marks. Here's Caitlin Zoltko, back again, dropping 8. 2 in the 8. And, well, that was interesting. The 2-pin kind of danced around. Not much else happened there. And she'll put it in for a 10 box. That's 10 after 1 for Caitlin Zoltko. Caitlin Zoltko currently 12 head pin shots and 7 splits. Compare that to John Cadiero's 13 head pin shots and 9 splits. Another head pin shot right on the nose on the 1-2 pocket for Caitlin Zoltko, a 5-drop. The bucket 05 or the hay bale, depending on what you want to call it. Caitlin Zoltko on the hay bale takes 3 of 5, leaves the 5 and the 9. she'll make it a 9. That's 19 after 2. Both bowlers have had one exceedingly really great game apiece, seemingly trading spaces. And Caitlin, not on the head pin, but took 8 out, and it's going to be a spare leave of the 1 and the 3. Caitlin Zoltko works here at Lakeside Lanes, in addition to bowling here. She just missed off to the left. Caitlin Zoltko, high single 120 and high series 544 this season so far. This is for the 10 box, and she'll take that 10. That's a PGS, a miss the second and get the third kind of situation. Sometimes we call that a Paul Grant special. And you should check out Candlepin's #4cancer.com as well. Great charity for assisting bowlers in the Candlepin community who need help with cancer treatments. It's also his tournament series, so do check out the website for more details. Candlepin's #4cancer.com. 8 drop for Caitlin Zoltko on the head pin this time. That's the 4 and the 8. See down there. 4 pin, 8 pin. Just shoot in between them and you got them. Or go to the left side outside the 4 pin. Your choice. Caitlin just a little bit to the right of the gap in between the 4 and the H. Both bowlers hunting for marks this half. For the 10 box, she's got it for the 10. That's 39 and 4 for Caitlin Zoltko. 3 10s and 1 9. Plus 2 to John Cadiero's 37 after 4, the equivalent point in this game. John Cadiero has a 47.5. With 2 10s and 3 9s, Caitlin Zoltko currently with 3 10s and 1 9. And she'll take 3 out, half Worcester plus DLC. 5 pin down along with the 2 and the 8. And Caitlin Zoltko takes a few more out, missed the object pin. The 1, the 4, the 7, and the 9 are left. The 10, she'll take a 7. Where does that leave us? 46 half for Caitlin Zoltko and 47 for John Cadiero. Difference of 1 in John Cadiero's favor, 47 to 46. And still a competitive match. Caitlin Zoltko's won 10 boxes head-to-head against John Cadiero, who's won 8. All the others are ties. And currently 9 splits for John Cadiero and 7 for Caitlin Zoltko, so fairly evenly distributed, and they almost are even on the head pins, 13 for Cadiero and 14 for Caitlin Zoltko. We are at the halfway point of this match. Ooh, and boy, and John Cadiero coming off the bench, a little bit rusty there on the 7 pin on the first ball. Candlepin's about the second ball, though. Let's find out what happens. Slightly corrected, but still fighting for a 5 box or greater. John Cadiero will clean that up, though, for a 10 box. A nice out. Third 10 box in a row, and that's 57 after 6. And there's a good first ball, a 7 drop. On the head pin that time, 6 9 10. And that's a great spare for John Cadiero. Let's watch this. He's finally got it on the triangle. The 6 9 10 go down. One-two pocket shot, split of 7, 7 10 6. 74 and 7 now. Oh, and he got a little bit stuffed by the wood. Couldn't get a shift over to the 7 pin. So no spare for John Cadiero now. 9 or 10. Looks like it's going to be on for a 10, and it is 84 and 8. There's a 3 drop. Half Worcester right side plus DLC for John Cadiero this time. Ooh, just a little full on the head pin on the follow-up shot. Not quite the outside. 6 pin might go. Not quite. 4-6, 2-10 for John Cadiero for a 10 box now. The outside. Oh, wow. Nice out. It's going to be a 9. 93 and 9 for Mr. Cadiero. You're watching the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour in Class B North. Who is the Class B-ist today? Find out with me. It's Caitlin Zoltko defending the house against John Cadiero. It's Manchester versus Concord today. Manchester defending against Concord. John Cadiero off to the left. 7 pins down. 139. And he's all over for a spare. Nice execution there by John Cadiero. Let's look at that shot once again. 139. Nice job. And a 2 drop results in a 2 fill. A little bit disappointing. He's at 105. 307 3-game total for John Cadiero. 89, 113, 105, averaging 102 so far. That's the story for John Cadiero with 15 head pin shots for 30. 50% exactly, 10 splits. And here is Caitlin Zoltko. She's back for more. 5 boxes to go in the 3rd game. It's a 4 drop, bucket of 5 on the left and the 10. She'll take the bucket of 5 on the left and leave the 10. Just couldn't get anything to shift over there. For the 10, she's all over it. Good accuracy for Caitlin Zoltko, 56 and 6. Caitlin Zoltko, who is 4 for 6 on the head pin with 1 split today, with 4 10 boxes in this game alone. Could definitely use a few marks to take John Cadiero's 105 for a ride. Head pin shot, maybe a 9 drop. If the 2 pin thinks about it, it'll be a split of 8 for Caitlin Zoltko. 210. Oh, wow. That was really close, but no cigar for the 10 pin. 2 pin and the wood danced around it and sailed behind it. And 10 boxes galore for Caitlin Zoltko. Like we said, she has a superlative of the 5th highest ACST North total 10s at 29 before this match. And I think that trend is going to continue upwards. 66 after 7 for Caitlin Zoltko. She'll drop 5, not on the head pin. That is known as a Calieri. The right side version of the Calieri, 4 horsemen and the opposite sleeper pin in the back. Caitlin Zoltko versus the Calieri, and she'll get it. She's got it. Calieri secured. Watch this again if we can cue this up in time. On the 1-3 and the sidewall action completed the Calieri. Shows off to the right and takes a 3 fill off of that. 79 and 8. Takes a few more out. 6 down, 4 up. 1, 8, 6, 10. And a 6 box it shall be for Caitlin Zoltko. That's 85 and 9. Caitlin Zoltko on the pocket. Drops 8. 6-10. That wood is looking good. Will she get it? She will, and she needed that one. That's a spare for Caitlin Zoltko. Well, we have a look at that shot again, shall we, while we have the time. On the 6 and the 10. All over it. That cap of the wood was questionable at best, but she worked around it. So it's currently 95 and a bonus for Caitlin Zoltko. On the 1-3, and ooh, my goodness, a 5 fill and an awkward one at that. That is something to behold for Caitlin Zoltko. Not a fill, but she'll take 100. A strike fill would have tied it, but 100 is the final total for Caitlin Zoltko in the third for a 3-game total of 324. John Cadiero a 3-game total of 307. Caitlin total still holding on to the total by 17, but John Cadiero will take the third game by 5, and John Cadiero has a guaranteed 4 points today. But enough about the third game. Let's move on to the fourth game now. As our bowlers take a quick breather themselves. Hope you all are having a great time today. This ACST match at Lakeside Lanes in Manchester, New Hampshire. And I believe John Cadiero is getting ready to fire. Ready, fire, aim. Maybe not in that order. But let's find out. And we'll take one. That was kind of a ready, fire, aim kind of shot on the 4-pin. Punch a few more out. It's a 3-drop, or a 4-drop, as after 2 balls. And that will be a 5-box opener for John Cadiero. 5 after 1. Fought hard for that one. Take a moment here to fix Caitlin Zoltko's score tower so it's a little bit more visible than it currently is. Here we go. And that will be a 4-drop for John Cadiero. Still trying to find that head pin. He's been having some trouble in the first half specifically. Still can't find the head pin there. 1-7-10 high-low jack with wood for a 10-box. And he won't quite get the jack, but he'll get a nice 9-box, a graceful out. 14 after 2 for John Cadiero here. And almost a strike. The 5-pin is left. A definitive 9-drop for John Cadiero on the pocket. And there's a single pin spare with wood for John Cadiero. Puts it in for a birdie. Here we are. Watch this. All over it. Pocket shot for John Cadiero. 7 drop and a split and a fill of 7, and the fill of 7 was crucial there. 31 after 3. And that's a double spare for John Cadiero. 41 after 4 now. Watch this. 3, 5, 10. No problem for John Cadiero. Oops. And he was in the pocket. Sorry, my wrong button. 5, 7, 10, 9. Solid 6 fill. Better than a liquid one, I guess. Oh, and he's got it. The wood getting him 3 marks in a row there. Great shot by John Cadiero. Watch this shot. Wonderful the way that wood came back and took it. So John Cadiero, after 5, is at 57. 3 marks in a row. That's a pretty good half, don't you think? I'd say so. You're watching the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. I'm Steve Kelly on the broadcast booth, provided by 3-Ball Spare Conglomerate. Broadcasting on YouTube this afternoon. The Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour page on Facebook already had an in-progress match. And apparently we can only stream 1 match at a time there. So YouTube it is, with a link shared to the Facebook page. And there is a 7 drop for Caitlin Zoltko, the 4 horseman right side, minus the 2. And she won't take those spares from John Cadiero lying down. Caitlin Zoltko is on the board. With a birdie shot. All over it for a spare, Caitlin Zoltko is. Pocket shot. Ah, yikes. That's a 3 fill. Just one of those situations where the break just didn't quite happen on the first ball. Let's look at a decent second ball, turning it into a 3-4-7-8 leave. This will be for a 10 box. Be a 9, 22 after 2 for Caitlin Zoltko. That's a 3 drop, 6-pack right in the 7. Oops. Not on the object pin, but she leaves the 1 and the 10 for the spare shot. And that's a nice 10 box for Caitlin Zoltko. 32 and 3. Hope you're enjoying this match. This is the second match I've streamed today, in case you missed it. Streamed this morning, Greg Vellante at Andy Klempa at Academy Lanes in Haverhill, Massachusetts. Do check that match out. It was an early morning match, but great scores coming out of both bowlers there. 8 drop for Caitlin Zoltko, 2 in the 4. Spare leave. Just a little bit off to the left. For the 10, she's got it. Caitlin Zoltko with another 10. That's 42 after 4. Caitlin Zoltko has 1 strike and 8 spares this match so far. 11 10s. Compare that to John Cadiero's 9. And that's a nice 9 drop right there by Caitlin Zoltko. The thing about Lakeside is sometimes if you throw a lighter ball, you can get much better breaks like that. And we got a pin down there that is figuring it out. I see Matt Nichols is posturing himself to go down there. But it might be rolling back into play. It might be right on the line. It's going to be a difficult call. There's Matt Nichols going down for the official check. I think he's going to come back. Or maybe not. Oh, okay. I guess it was out. I'm sure Caitlin didn't want that there anyway. Doesn't matter. That's a spare for Caitlin Zoltko. Said it was that close, but did not matter in the slightest. Here we go. Watch this. Great shot by Caitlin. All right, so that's a great one to sit on, and with that spare, she sits at 52 after 5. John Cadiero also on a mark, 57 after 5. John Cadiero takes the stand. He sure does. Drops 6. Fills 6. Punches the head pin a little bit too hard. Three, 6, 7. And a nice 10 box though for John Cadiero. Look at that shot again, because I liked the way that fell. On the outside of that 3-pin. Great execution. Head-pin shot there. 7-pin thinking about it. 7, 10, 4. Oh, and he'll just sail off a little bit. Kick the wood on the 4, and everything just kind of mixed oddly. There's a 9. 82 and 7 for John now. John Cadiero on the 1-3. Not much to show for it. It's a 6 drop and the 2 diamond. A little bit to the left of the diamond. Couldn't quite break all of it. Took 2 of 4. And he'll make it a nice 10 box though. Completing the diamond after 2 balls. That's 92 and 8 for John Cadiero. And John will split 7 on the head pin. 4, 7, 10. Piece of wood settling down there right in front of the 4 and the 7. Not the greatest place for that wood to be. Knowing how Lakeside plays, there's going to be an awkward exchange or a lack of deflection or too much deflection. The lack of deflection appears to be what happened there. But it'll stay on for a 10, and that's 102 and 9 for John Cadiero. John Cadero's high single is 127, and his high series is 582 this season so far. He recently faced Bruno DeFeo in round 2 at home with a 582 series, taking 8 points. There's a 3 drop for John Cadiero in the 10th on the first ball. Against Bruno DeFeo, he threw a 127, a 106, a 111, a 114, and a 124, that 582 series. 2 strikes, 14 spares, 9 tens, with 30 for 50 on the head pin. John Cadiero working box. He's going to be probably 112 or under. 1-7, 10, 4. Third ball. He's 6 for 10 on the head pin this game. And he'll take 8. That's 110 for John Cadiero. That's 4 games done for John Cadiero. 4-game total of 417. John Cadiero, 21 for 40 on the head pin, 53%. 14 splits. 12 10 boxes, 1 strike, 8 spares. And here's Caitlin Zoltko now. Interesting split exchange there on the head pin. That's a 6 fill, 58 and 5. That's this 4, 7, 9, 10 for Caitlin Zoltko. Punches the 4. That's the optic pin. Goes straight back. 7, 9, 10. It'll be an 8. 66 and 6 for Caitlin Zoltko now. And 5 pins go down for Caitlin Zoltko right there. 4 horsemen and a sleeper. She'll punch 3, leave 2, 4, 7. The 10 box. That's 76 and 7 for Ms. Zoltko. And that looks like it's going to be a mix, an eventual mix of 7. 7, 9, 10 on the first ball for Caitlin Zoltko. This will be an interesting spare. That wood down there will make or break. Oh, it almost does it. Not quite the way I thought it was going to go, but good offer, but offer not accepted. There's a 10 for Caitlin Zoltko. That's 86 and 8. Caitlin Zoltko currently 12 splits today. John Cadiero 14. Caitlin Zoltko currently 22 for 38 on the head pin. 1 strike, 9 spares, 13 tens for Caitlin, and on the head pin she'll drop 8, 4-7. Caitlin Zoltko's first ball average is 5.9. John Cadiero's is at 5.8, so they're about even. Oh, just a little bit off to the left, Caitlin Zoltko is. It was a great offer, but just had to be a little bit more to the right. But the problem was that that diagonal wood is kind of a wild card. Never know what it's going to do. Caitlin Zoltko with a lot of 10s, 96 and 9. 5 10 boxes, two spares this game. Caitlin fires just a little bit off to the right of the head pin, drops 5. Even appears to move a pin slightly off a spot, the 4 pin. Caitlin just waiting on some bowling balls to roll down. We see them returning now. Sometimes it just takes a couple extra seconds for them to cycle through the system. Sort of like a Rube Goldberg machine back there. Cycling pins and balls. Sometimes it gets a little stuck. Oh, and she'll punch the 2. 1-4-7-8 for Caitlin Zoltko. And that will be a 9 box, a good out. 105 for Caitlin Zoltko, 5 under. John Cadiero's 110. 429 4-game total for Caitlin Zoltko and 417 for John Cadiero. Moving on to the 5th and the final game here on the ACST. All bowlers just taking a brief breather here. But yes, again, check out my raffle tickets for my Worlds team, the Massholes. Captain Chuck DeRozier's in the center there. We'll have, so it's 1 ticket for 5, 3 tickets for 10, 5 tickets for 20. You can Venmo me at SkellySkelly if you wouldn't mind, or if you want to talk to me in person, we'll work something out. I have the physical raffle tickets. If you digitally send me anything with the notes, I will add them to the physical card and submit them on the day of Worlds. And that's how that's going to work. And that's John Cadiero with a 2-drop to start things out. Uh, 5, 8, 9 for John Cadiero. For a 10 box, 7 box guarantee. It'll be a 9 for John. We are at Lakeside Lanes in Manchester, New Hampshire today. Located right off of exit 1 on 101 in Manchester, New Hampshire. It's like if you're driving to UNH from 293 but decide to go bowling instead and veer off onto the first exit you see on 101, which is exit 1. 6-drop for John Cadiero. 1369. Lakeside Lanes opened on November 27th, 1959. Lakeside Lanes' website has quite a history page talking about how specifically they had to lay the lanes down for all the exact measurements and whatnot, have to level everything and do the sound deafening and all of that. It's a really interesting story. You should check it out. They have a soundproofing system. 85% of all sound is absorbed here. Lakeside Lanes' current owner is Tim Lipke. Lipke. And Tim Lipke, he is a former pro bowler himself from the 90s and such. You can see him on Candlepin Stars and Strikes as a frequent contestant there. John Cadiero working box, leaves the head pin. Be another 9 box for John Cadiero. That's 28 after 3. Tim Lipke bought Lakeside Lanes in 1999, taking over ownership. Lakeside Lanes uses manual scoring and manual lane resetting, with CompuScore being the scoring software used. There's a 2-drop for John Cadiero off the left. John Cadiero was having a great head pin completion percentage before, having a little bit of trouble here in the 5th. Overcorrects a little to the right, 1-2, 6-10. He'll make an 8 out of it. That's 36 after 4. Cadiero. 5 go down. 1, 5, 3, 8, 10. And get the spare, and he does. That's one great one to sit on. Let's watch this shot again. Look at that. The speed demon of the wood rolling right in. Here, I'll show you the more extended replay right here. Wasn't on the object pin even. Wow, great way to take it though. A spare is a spare. 46 and a bonus is John Cadiero's current count, 463 after 4.5 games. Here's Caitlin Zoltko. 1-2 pocket, 7 drop. And she's almost on the spare. Look good on paper. 6 doesn't carry to the 9. That's a good 10 box for Caitlin Zoltko, who is known for 10 boxes. That's 10 after 1. Caitlin Zoltko mixes 6. 4 horsemen right side. Leaves the 1 and the 8 on the second ball. Oh, and almost gets it. Good attempt, just the way the wood flew. 19 after 2 for Caitlin Zoltko now. She'll split 8, 5 in the 10. Oh, and a nice spare by Caitlin Zoltko. That was a nice one, unexpected, but still welcome. Watch this shot. Yeah, that was the money. That was the good one right there. She's already following up. 1-3 pocket. Energized by that, she'll fill with 6 and split 6. Almost sparing it up. The 5-pin is untouched though. 5-pin is safe. Caitlin Zoltko again, known for 10s, will take 45 and 4. Caitlin Zoltko's head pin percentage is 59% so far today. 26 for 44. She'll take 4 off the back row. Extra pin fell. Ooh, that ball was just a little bit off to the right, where she was aiming for. Big check mark in the 5. For the 10 box, it's going to be a 6. Halfway through the 5th and final game is 46 in a bonus for John Cadiero and 51 after 5 for Caitlin Zoltko. Caitlin Zoltko still retains the total lead by 17 minus John Cadiero's pending Mark Phil. Caitlin Zoltko is up by 5 minus John Cadiero's Mark Phil as of right now. It's a big 5th game worth 6 points because the grand total pinfall is so close along with the game. So 4 points for total pinfall and 2 for the game. Up for grabs here. John Cadiero filling a mark. Good mark fill, solid one on the pocket. It's a fill of 6. 52 in 5. And he'll poke the 9. There'll be an 8 box in the 6th. That puts John Cadiero at 60 and 6. Before we go today, I'd like to thank our ACST committee members, including our ACST League Commissioner Danny Finn, Class B Treasurer Corey Alisi, our statisticians Micah Imperato and Danny Finn, staff at Lakeside Lanes for hosting and accommodating. Always appreciate you guys. It's a 4 drop for John Cadiero. I'd like to thank Steve Abadili, who contributes some of the video content and the B-roll. I'd like to link to his content in the description, and there is a great spare by John Cadiero. I've got a replay of that queued up in just a moment here. Wow, nice shot by John Cadiero right there. Pile of pins in the center and the right side. He took care of it. John Cadiero in the pocket. Ooh, split of 7. Good fill, just a ugly leave. Right side setback / castle, whatever you want to call it. 77 and 7 for John Cadiero. He'll take 2 and leave 1. Safe way to resolve that conflict. I'd also like to thank viewers like you. I always appreciate you watching anywhere, however, why ever. Doesn't matter to me. Appreciate you watching. There's a 10 box for John Cadiero. And if the off chance you like this content, please do consider subscribing to 3 Ball Spare on YouTube, as well as the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour page on YouTube. Check it out on Facebook as well. We'd always appreciate you to help us grow the sport. And the channels, you know, all the fun stuff. And there is a, well, more than 3 drop. That's a 6 drop for John Cadiero. What could have been a 3 drop turned into a 6. 1, 7, 10, 2. Will he spare it? All the wood will collide with one another, preventing the spare. Played it perfectly, though, quite honestly. And that will sail into the channel. That will be a 96 and 9 for John Cadiero. One 3. Maybe a 7 drop. It's going to be a 6 drop. That front pin is just not having it. 2, 7, 8, 10. Oops. Sorry about that. Mouse trailed off to the wrong button. 7-10 split for John Cadiero. No mark. Looking for a 10 box, so make it a 9. 105 for John Cadiero, and that is it. That's game for John Cadiero. 522, 5 game total. 89, 113, 105, 110, and 105 for John Cadiero. 1 strike, 10 spares, 14 10s, 50% perfect box percentage. 61 on the bonus pins off fills, averaging 5.5 per mark. First ball average 5.6, 24 hip and shots, 16 splits, average 104 for today. 522 is the 5 game total for John Cadiero. And And now Caitlin Zoltko on the pocket. 9 pins go down. Oh, just a little bit off. It's Caitlin Zoltko. Single pin spare. Harder than they look. We actually haven't seen a lot of misses of these today. Caitlin Zoltko will miss the second and get the third. That's a 10 box. That's 61 and 6 for Caitlin Zoltko. Caitlin's on the pocket, but a little bit full. Drops 6, splits 6. That's the 4-6-3-7. And she'll take 2 and leave 2. So take the right half and leave the left half. 4 and the 7 left on the deck. Oh, and a deflection of wood. Yeah, that's rough. That's going to be an 8 box for Caitlin Zoltko. That's 69 and 7. Caitlin Zoltko's been very consistent on the head pin, only missing 2 head pin shots this game so far. 7 boxes in. A little bit off there. I say that, and then she doesn't. Then she misses it. It's a 5 drop for Caitlin. 1, 2, 7, 8, 10. And into the ocean to the right of the head pin. On the retry, it's a nice out of 9 for Caitlin Zoltko with 2 boxes to go. 78 and 8 for Caitlin. I want to thank you for watching as we close this out. I hope this was a pleasant viewing experience for you. Be sure to strike, comment, subscribe to the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Store page on Facebook and YouTube, Candlepin Chat on Facebook, Candlepin Bowling Network on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, Candlepin Corner on YouTube, featuring the From the Office of the Commissioner podcast, at Candlepin Bowling on TikTok. There is also Outrun the Bear on Facebook and Instagram, Alley Chat on YouTube, Bowling with the Gothiers on YouTube, Wolfman12395 on YouTube, the Candlepin Bowling channel on YouTube, the Ripping the Rack podcast on YouTube, the Approach podcast, Tony Levesque on YouTube, and Charlie Collins on TikTok. Plenty of bowling content to check out for sure. That's an 86 and 9 for Caitlin Zoltko, with 1 box to go before we close this match out. She's on the pocket. Will she close this out with a strike? Oh, not quite. She leaves the 5 pin. 9 drop. But she'll spare it up, though. Nice one in the end. 96 and a bonus for Caitlin Zoltko now. Just that single pin spare shot. Right in the face. That's how we like it. But Caitlin Zoltko, actually, it's a really narrow victory on the total. She's got it with a 525 and counting. That's going to be a 3 fill, but that will be enough for Caitlin Zoltko to take the total and secure the total with a 528 to John Cadero's 522. That's a 99 in the 5th game. Let's assess the situation here. 528 for Caitlin Zoltko after 5 games, 522 for John Cadiero. Caitlin Zoltko pulls out the total win by 6. Didn't take the 5th game, though, so John Cadiero will actually take a fair amount of points. And so let's take a look at what we've got for the point differentials today. It's going to be 8 points for John Cadiero, and Caitlin Zoltko will take 6 as she took the total. So actually a really almost even distribution here. It was a great job for Caitlin Zoltko. That total, the victory of the total pinfall at the end really kind of saved her points prospects here. It could have been 2, but she took 6, so that was a great one for Caitlin Zoltko. 1 strike for both bowlers. Caitlin Zoltko had 1 spare more than John Cadiero. Both bowlers, great amounts of 10 boxes. Caitlin Zoltko 17, John Cadiero 14. Both bowlers filling almost exactly the same, 64 for Caitlin, 61 for John Cadiero, averaging 5.5 for John Cadiero on each mark, and Caitlin Zoltko averaging 5.3 on each mark. First ball average 5.6 for John Cadiero and 5.9 for Caitlin Zoltko. Also very, very even. Boxes won almost also even. That's a head-to-head stat. John Cadiero winning 18, while Caitlin Zoltko 120, with all the others being ties. John Cadiero averaging 104, Caitlin Zoltko averaging 106. 16 splits for John Cadiero and 15 splits for Caitlin Zoltko. So that's kind of the general story here. Here's some graphs. You feel free to pause the stream if you want to take a look more at kind of the nitty-gritty details of this, if you're a stats nerd and like all that kind of stuff. Anyways, folks, that should just about do it for us here at the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. And I hope you enjoyed this match today. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you had a favorite moment or any questions or comments. Let me know. And, of course, consider the raffle ticket offer I have outstanding here for next month in November and World. So please check out 3 Ball Spare on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Anyways, everyone, for 3 Ball Spare on the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour, I've been Steve Kelly. Have a great one, everybody. For Caitlin Zoltko and John